Welcome back to Health Equals Wellness. In this video, we will comprehensively examine a crucial topic that affects us all: how extreme weather disasters impact our mental health and what we can do about it. As climate change intensifies, understanding this connection is more important than ever. In this video, we will include the phone number for the Disaster Distress Helpline. Chapter 1. The link between extreme weather and mental health. Immediate trauma. Living through a disaster can be incredibly traumatic. For instance, 67% of people directly exposed to the 2018 California Camp Fire experienced PTSD-like symptoms. This immediate trauma can manifest as intense fear, anxiety, helplessness, and a sense of loss of control. The destruction of homes, displacement from familiar surroundings, and potential loss of loved ones or livelihoods can further exacerbate these psychological effects. In the aftermath, survivors may experience a range of mental health issues, including anxiety, depression, and PTSD, which can persist long after the physical danger has passed. The severity of these mental health impacts often correlates with the level of exposure to the disaster and the extent of personal losses experienced. Long-term effects. These impacts can last for years. Even years after the event, survivors may continue to struggle with mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. 3 years after a flood, affected individuals still show significantly higher rates of anxiety and depression compared to those not impacted. These psychological impacts can persist long after the physical damage has been repaired, affecting daily functioning, relationships, and overall quality of life. Additionally, the experience may lead to chronic stress, sleep disturbances, and increased substance abuse as coping mechanisms. For some, even normal weather patterns can trigger anxiety, with flood survivors reporting heightened stress during heavy rainfall years after the initial event. Indirect impacts. You don't have to be directly affected to feel the mental health effects. In the United States, about 68% of adults report experiencing some level of anxiety about climate change, with around 47% reporting being very or somewhat anxious about its effects, according to surveys such as those conducted by the American Psychological Association. This phenomenon, often referred to as climate anxiety or eco-anxiety, is especially pronounced among younger generations, with many expressing concerns about the long-term impacts of climate change on their lives and future generations. Chapter 2. Vulnerable groups. While extreme weather affects everyone, some groups are particularly vulnerable. They include: number 1, children and adolescents. Young people are particularly vulnerable because their emotional regulation and coping mechanisms are still developing. Disruptions to their daily routines, such as school closures and displacement, can create a sense of instability and exacerbate stress. Additionally, witnessing the destruction of homes, communities, or loved ones can deeply affect their sense of security and well-being. Long-term exposure to climate stressors may also foster feelings of hopelessness about the future, highlighting the need for targeted mental health support and resilience-building programs. Number 2, people with pre-existing mental health conditions. Extreme weather can severely impact individuals with pre-existing mental health conditions, exacerbating symptoms and increasing vulnerability. Events like hurricanes, heat waves, and wildfires can disrupt access to essential health care, including therapy sessions and medications, leading to worsened mental health. The stress of evacuations, property damage, or loss of loved ones can intensify anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Number 3, low-income communities. These groups often have fewer resources to cope with and recover from disasters. Limited financial resources make it challenging for these communities to prepare for, respond to, and recover from disasters. Evacuations can be financially burdensome, and many lack access to reliable transportation or emergency funds. After a disaster, rebuilding efforts may be slower due to inadequate insurance coverage or savings. Additionally, disruptions to employment and access to food, water, and healthcare can create long-term economic and social hardships, perpetuating cycles of poverty and inequality. Number 4, first responders. Up to 49% of first responders in hurricane-affected areas show clinical levels of PTSD. Extreme weather disasters place significant physical and emotional strain on first responders, who are often on the front lines of rescue and recovery efforts. These individuals face hazardous conditions, including exposure to dangerous environments, extreme temperatures, and prolonged shifts with little rest. The intense pressure to save lives and protect communities can lead to acute stress and burnout, while witnessing traumatic events may contribute to post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Chapter 3. Steps to support mental health during extreme weather. Now let's talk about what we can do to protect our mental health. 1. Prepare physically and mentally. Create an emergency kit with essentials like water, non-perishable food, generator, and medications. 2. Stay informed about local weather conditions and evacuation procedures. 3. Develop a family emergency plan and practice with the family. 4. Stay connected. Reach out to friends and family regularly. 5. Connect with your neighbors and check on them after a weather disaster. 6. Join community support groups or online forums. 7. If you have children, encourage them to express their feelings. 8. Don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health professional. 9. Consider telehealth options if in-person appointments aren't possible. Remember, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Chapter 4. Get involved. Volunteer in community resilience efforts. Advocate for climate action and mental health support in your area. Connecting with others who share your concerns can be empowering. Extreme weather events can take a toll on our mental health, but by understanding the risks and taking proactive steps, we can build resilience. Remember, it's okay to not be okay, and there's always help available. If you're struggling, contact a mental health professional or call the Disaster Distress Helpline at 1-800-985-5990. That's 1-800-985-5990. Thanks for watching. If you have experienced an extreme weather disaster and can share specific strategies that helped you, please share in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video from Health Equals Wellness to spread awareness about this important issue.